Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. This week we get a new ship shape on the Aegis Hammerhead. They explain how satellites will orbit planets, plus the 3.3 patch gets split. Don't forget you only have one more day left to enter our birthday Prospector and Drake Buccaneer giveaway. Make sure you follow those links below to stand a chance. So the first question for Calling All Devs is there any plan to make the aid shelters around the moons more useful for, say, logging off or logging in? Now they do have updates coming to the player spawning logic, they say, with the new player hubs coming online in 3.3, the ability to rent different types of rooms and so forth, but currently they have to ensure that there are enough spawn locations at each given area so everyone can spawn in. Aid shelters can't hold that many beds, so they need this new logic. Once they've got that, they should be able to add this option later. Next question, can we get better gamepad and joystick support for, say, the mobiGlas, terminals, the MFDs? Now they say they're looking to improve these parts of the game very soon. It is on their radar. First, they're getting these features beyond prototype, and then they will expand the controls. Third question is regarding ship locking. Why are players getting penalised for killing players trying to break into their own ship? Now, currently, the locking feature is just a placeholder. They're building both the reputation system and the locking ship system. They have got a solve coming in, they say, incorporates the group system, but it's coming in little pieces and will be better once everything is put together. So the final question. Once planets begin orbiting the stars, how will rest stop stations maintain a meaningful position between two planets? Now, they said that they're going to use what is called a Lagrange point. Basically, the planet's gravitational pull keeps these satellites in orbit and rotate with the planet. They did say they will always ensure that we have lots of points to get us out of trouble and jump away regardless of whether something is rotating or not. They said they will try this out and then go from there. I would suggest Googling this, the Lagrange points, Lagrange, to learn more of it for yourself if you are interested. Anyway, that was Calling All Devs, guys. Let's move on. So this week's Around the Verse started off talking about them working on integrating some form of navigation capabilities and route planning to the mobiGlas. They're figuring out how best to indicate your travel distance and how long you can travel before running out of fuel. This is just exploring the earliest version of this mechanic. When you go into the mobiGlas, they say that you'll select a destination, it will then automatically create a travel route. Think like Google Maps, and you can then adjust it as you see fit. The concept showed the final destination. It also had the route planning plot around the area. It shows you the list in the top left hand corner of all the waypoints. The red section is when you will run out of fuel, the green section is what you have yet to travel, and the grey area is what you've already completed. Now I am very eager to see these updates and the functionality in the mobiGlas to make this a proper system. Currently with the size of Crusaders map, it's not too necessary just yet, but as we start expanding the maps and we get Hurston and so on and so forth, it'll become more useful. Now work is also ongoing to add multiple group chat functionalities to the mobiGlas. We saw Arccor's moon Walla with its icy formation, which has also led to discussions regarding a new mining type beyond the current sort of ship type. So how do you mine these minerals? They did say though it's too early to confirm the new gameplay mechanics just yet, but they are thinking about it. Now when they're building out Stanton, they have to determine the scale of everything. So when they recreated our solar system, they decided that all the planets and distances between everything would be 1/10 the scale, and moons would be 1/6 the scale, so moons are a little bigger, but the sun is 1:1 scale. 3.3.5 will, for the first time, allow us to see the sun through a thick atmosphere, much more like we're used to being on Earth. But also it might be cool to see moons orbiting it and aligning up and whatnot. So it's going to be really nice, and I think it's a breathable atmosphere on Hurston as well, so you don't need to wear a helmet. Now they had a quick ship shape. The F8 Lightning has had updates to the enter and exit. They've also risen the pilot position up a little bit. We will see the ship in Squadron 42. White box work continues on building out the Anvil Hawk bounty hunting ship. They've got the cockpit set now. They're just fleshing out the interior before it moves into grey box modelling next month. And the Hammerhead is heading towards release with the updates to visual effects and its damage states. The Hammerhead actually got a little bigger, plus it has gained a second deck. RTV does have a ship shape with a Q&A talking about the Hammerhead, which we'll get to after this. Finally, the latest improvements to the scramble race are the ground vehicle lights are brighter. The durability of the Cyclone's wheels are stronger as well. They've stopped the Gravlev vehicles, as we know, from taking off, and they're working towards the ability for the Dragonfly and the Cyclone passengers to provide cover fire. Anyway, that was ATV, guys. Let's get on to the Hammerhead Reverse the Verse. So on with the Reverse the Verse. Now this is, as I said before, a Hammerhead ship shape Q&A Reverse the Verse, focusing solely on the Aegis Hammerhead. It kicked off with this little ship shape, which it says it's a patrol boat, sort of a support defense ship for larger ships in the fleet, or a defense system for the Port Olisar. So this was actually what they said, so it could be replacing the current armistice zone that we do have at Port Olisar. It has grown in size a little as they needed to have bigger power plants to power its many huge turrets. It also requires a large crew because of these turrets. They need to be manned. It is equipped with 6 turrets, each with 4 cannons on, and these turrets are on a gimbaled frame which extends, unlike any other turret we have seen, giving you a bigger arc of fire. Each weapon is a Clausenwerner Rhino repeater, which are laser weapons, so it will draw quite a bit of power. Could be good against ground targets as well, they say, as all turrets can fire downwards. Now, the interior is very similar to the Idris and Javelin, with it being Aegis. They have reused many of its assets. It's got different lighting, different colours. It looks a bit more military and less clean than the Idris. The front is armoured as well and reinforced, may be good for ramming. The cockpit floor is made of glass, so you can actually look below you underneath. It's about 150 metres in length, 75 in width and about 60 in height. The top deck fits within the original measurements. That's where the mess hall is kept. So the Q&A, the first question was, will target information be shared between gunners? Now, they say that this isn't coming with the Hammerhead, but it is something later that they want, and it can be used by any ship. Although they did say that the self-status HUD shows where each turret is pointing, so you could use that to gauge an idea of where the turret's facing, but it's not really target designation. Next question is, will we see NPC-controlled Hammerheads in 3.3? Now, not 3.3, but it does sound like a good idea, so they will look into that as well. Does the Hammerhead have a brig? It does not. How fast is the Hammerhead is the next question. And they say, although they're still balancing the stats, it's closest to the Starfarer in speed, a little faster and a little more agile, but it's around that same speed. Can it run all turrets at once? Yes, it can. At the moment, they are all laser repeaters. If they feel it needs to change, they will change the loadout. It does take a lot of power to run them, but obviously ballistic options are there to help should you need it. They said they'll just sort of see how it goes, and if they feel it needs to be changed, they will do. Does it have any weak spots? So they say it's slow, try and stay out of the range of the turrets, but also the large engines at the back are a big target. And obviously the turrets themselves, you can take out the turrets or target them specifically. It's a big enough ship to target certain areas. It's not very good in atmosphere either, and an EMP could take down a couple of turrets, allowing you to gain access to that particular side. Now, there is the best chance of actually hitting the ship is from the rear. That's where the sort of blind spot is for the turrets. Someone asked how effective is it at shooting down incoming torpedoes. Now, although again not specific to the Hammerhead, they do want torpedoes to be targetable, so that is something they will continue to work on. Someone asked what ships could fit. Now, the ramp is designed to hold an Ursa rover or smaller, so there's a bit of room there. But if you have an Ursa rover in, it means pretty much you lose all your cargo space. Can the turrets be automated? Now, not all the turrets can. In 3.3, they all have to be manned. Later on, there's going to be, you'll be able to have CPU space where you can slave a couple of turrets maybe to being automated, but you will not be able to slave them all to automated. What can the co-pilot do in 3.3? And it's pretty much the same as any other ship currently, but obviously they want you to manage other features, systems of the ship. Maybe the Hammerhead co-pilot could designate targets and control the fields of fire, which then communicates back to the pilot and the gunner, sort of a go-between to make it a bit more easy and a bit more team tactical. Next question, what rooms does it have? So it has a mess hall and a bridge. It's got an engine room, crew quarters, captain's quarters, a component room, bathrooms, corridors. There's 2 lifts as well down to the ground, and then 2 more inside. One goes to the bridge and the one in the rear to the second deck. Plus ladders, of course, and it actually has 8 escape pods, which is quite good. And then the final question is what areas of the ship were not taken from the Idris? And apparently the engine room is completely new because it has 2 engines either side and with the cargo lift in the middle. So again, the cargo goes on this lift. It's about 40 SEU, they say, but with the rover on, you will lose that cargo space. Anyway, that was the Q&A and the RTV of the Hammerhead. Very nice. I am very excited to get this into 3.3 and just start testing it out, seeing how it plays. Hopefully this will take over security at Port Olisar. That would be quite interesting. You know, they don't turn off your weapons, but if you start opening fire and anything, they will take you down. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Hammerhead, guys. Let's move on. Also this week, On the Run Part 2 is released, which also leads on to a new screenshot competition to win either a Hornet, Sabre or Gladius. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share the video with all your friends. If you like what I do and want to help me make it better, follow the link below to my Patreon page to learn more.